Hey, what's going on, YouTube? Hey, welcome back to the channel. Hey, today we're going to be talking about our warrior deck, and I was on Reddit a little bit, just talking kind of about my knights deck and things like that, and some things kind of came up. I just want to say this so that way this is clear, guys. I don't pretend to be something I'm not. Okay, this is my second week playing in this game, and these are decks that good friends of mine in the game have built for me. They're on my Discord. If you guys want to jump in my Discord, there's some really smart guys in there. So like, I'm not claiming to be some genius on this game. I've literally been in this game for not even 2 weeks now. I'm just going through the deck that I use, and and I'm explaining how all these cards work to the novice player. I hope it's not coming off like I'm trying to pretend like I know everything. I don't. I know my decks, and that's what I know. And when I ask for people's opinions, I'm asking for people's opinions. I'm not trying to convey that I am the smartest person in the world, and I know it. I've been in this game for 2 weeks. I'm just kind of going over the cards that I got in there, and how these cards work for the newer players and things like that. And then, hey, maybe some of the older players, if they get anything, or maybe a little bit of source of entertainment, sure, hey, that goes along with it. But I'm a newer player, and I'm making these videos for newer players, and I'm just going to take you guys along with this journey with me. These decks may change in the future, and they may not. And I'm always going to shoot everybody straight. I'm obviously not in pro rank and things like that. So I just, long story short, guys, I am who I am. I'm not trying to pretend like I'm some genius. So a lot of people that'll say that know nothing about me and have never been on my stream. So I just wanted to say that to all the people that do follow me, in case you guys encounter people that say that about me. Like, I'm not pretending I'm anything. Like, I'm just a regular guy. So anyways, guys, that was just my public service announcement for all you folks. Just wanted to get that off the top of my head, for instance. So I just want to go over this deck, and I'm just going to explain everything in this deck and what conditions need to be set in these decks. There's a lot of conditions, and I learned these decks by basically playing it on stream. I play these decks on stream probably for 5 days straight before I ever even make a video. I'm asking questions on my stream. There's guys that have been around the block since beta. These guys have been playing for since 2017, and these guys are helping me along. So I'm just bringing you guys with me, So there's people that'll say that about me, just don't have obviously never seen me. So anyways, guys, we're gonna jump in with this guy. So right away, we're just gonna use this. What this thing does is, this will set the conditions for our Sov. So you're basically going to spawn some deafening sirens on the enemy's row. You're going to spawn 3 of them, and then once you spawn that 4th one, you're basically going to get this person down here. So each one of these deafening sirens that you summon, it's going to damage it like it shows right here. It's going to damage it by 1, and it starts with 2. So the good thing about that is you're going to have 4 damaged units on their board, and that's going to play in factor with Sov, and I will get into Sov when we get there. But this deck has a lot to do with damaging people when they are damaged. So, and I will get to that in another warrior that's only a 4 provision warrior that's very crucial to his thing. Guys, when you hit these characters, when you hit these cards, if this card is ever green, it's considered boosted. If it's white like this, it's just regular. If it's red, that's considered damaged. Okay, I want to get that out the board. I want to get that out of the way right away, because that's a thing that I didn't know. I'm like, how do I? Because there's a card down here that says once you damage a player and they are damaged, you get to hit them again. So I'll get to that when I get into the characters, or get into some of the cards down low. But I just want to let you guys know that green, if the number beside them, if this number right here is green, that means they are boosted. And if it's the regular color it is right now, white, that means nothing's going on. If they are red, then they're considered damaged. And it all has to do with this starting number, right? If this guy is 10 and up, he's going to be boosted. If he's 9, he's regular. If he's anything below 9, he is considered damaged, okay? So we will get into that in a second. So anyways, that basically gives us 3 sirens. All of them are going to be damaged. The 4th one that we get is going to be from this guy that we summon right here. He's going to be 13 power, and then you're going to summon another deafening siren, and he's going to get damage as well. So you're going to have 4 damage guys on their board just like that. So they'll technically get 4 points, and you'll get 13, so there'll be a 9-point swing. So that's what I use for my leader ability. And then I use this mask. Basically, this mask is really good out the rip. So we're going to try to pull these Highland Warriors. These Highland Warriors are going to try to give us raid damage. So we have cards on here that are just raid. That's their title. And they are going to do damage. So we're going to want that. So this is going to be super good. So if you didn't pull any of those Highland Warriors, this is going to kind of thin your deck out. So it's basically going to spawn somebody. Only if you have room in your deck, so you can't just start out the rip. If this is like if you have 10 of your cards, you can't just get an 11th. You know, you have to play somebody, then you use this to fill that 10th spot. So this is gonna give you an extra card, but then you also have to discard an extra card as well. And be mindful that you're not getting rid of a card that you might want to use a second or third round. Because I've actually gotten rid of a raid card, and I'm like, oh crap, I'm never gonna be able to get that raid card back. So you don't want to be discarding raid cards into your graveyard, just so you guys know. I have done that. Okay, so this is, I used to call him, so, you know, people say I think I know everything. I used to call him Tier, or excuse me, his name is Tier. I used to call him Tire. So, you know, I call things by the wrong names. I'm not pretending to be anything I'm not. So this guy is interesting. You really don't want to play him until he actually turns into the master of a Skellig. So that's when you really want to play him. That's where he really becomes beneficial. And you'll only get that when you actually win a round. So just so you guys know, if you play him the first round, you're just going to get this deployed gig right here. So basically what this will do is it damages an enemy unit by the difference of its base versus its current power. So initially I didn't think that a guy could be at like 20. I thought it was just like he had to be in the negatives. He had to be damaged. And then you could take that off. No, you could play this in the first round if you want to against a guy that's got like 50 HP. And if his regular HP is 4, that means he's boosted that 46. This will actually take away boosted as well. It just doesn't have to be damaged. It doesn't matter. Whatever that difference is, whether it's on the boosted side or the damage side, this guy will take that away. I don't recommend using him in the first round, but, you know, sometimes if you get into a bad situation, you want to win that first round, sometimes that's a gig, or if you got to use him in the second round to win that round, you got to do what you got to do, you know, so you're not always going to use these guys in the same time. So anyways, death blow, basically meaning death blow. That means like if you kill them during that attack, that's considered a death blow. So basically he just gains resilience. Gaining resilience means that he's considered a carryover. He's going to carry over into the next round. Just so you guys are aware of that. You can guys kind of take a look at this right here as well. And just be mindful of kind of the night bill we were talking about. This status, it won't bring over any boosts or any armor. So if he's boosted like 1 million, right? Or if he has like 100 million armor, he's not bringing any of that over. But they can bring over, you're not going to have it on this deck. You can bring over infusions. So, but anyways, you won't have it on this deck. But when you guys do win a round and he goes into the Master of Skellig, so this was hard for me to get my my head around and how he was useful. Basically, what you're going to want to do is you're going to play him down for 9, right? And then he's going to boost somebody in your graveyard. He's going to double that HP. I always try to get the invaders because typically they're going to be at 8 the last round, so they're going to get boosted to 16. So anyways, you play him, plays him for himself, and then you'll pull that card from your deck, double it, it'll go into your hand, and then you have to discard a card. So be mindful of that. If you only have 1 card left, so that's why you kind of want to use him early on in that 3rd round or the 2nd round, just depending on which one you want to win, right? But what the person that you take over, if you only have 1 card in the deck, then you're going to have to kick back the person that you just drew. So you don't want to use him as your last card. Just be mindful of that. And then also, the benefit of using him early on is the first time that you pull a bronze unit. And the bronze unit, guys, I'm going to dive into this bronze unit because this bronze unit was kind of weird for me. And a lot of players that have been around the block don't necessarily, they kind of look over this. This is a big thing for newer players because I, for one, had no idea what a bronze unit is. So I was like, I have no idea. So I will get into that here right after this card, actually. So anyway, so anytime you pull a bronze person out of your graveyard, it's gonna boost their HP. It's gonna double their HP as well. So let's talk about this bronze. Okay. So this is kind of a weird scenario. The color that you're looking for is actually not even bronze, guys. I'm gonna pull it up on the screen what bronze looks like, and bronze looks like gold, right? So I was told on stream, because I was originally thinking like, this yellow right here, that means legendary, and the purple is epic, right? And then the blue is rare, and then the lighterish blue is common, right? Well, okay, that's accurate, but the purples are also gold as well. So it's kind of a weird. This game has a lot of weird things in it that are not explained anywhere. You just have to figure it out, and you have to talk to these older players, because a lot of these cards, the verbiage on these cards are brutal. They don't even say what they play. That's a real thing. A lot of older players might not get that, but for you younger players, you're gonna have to realize that some of these cards, like, they don't do what they say. It's just, so anyway, so this guy is gold, right? So he is considered a legendary, and then the purple ones are also gold. But let's slide on down to these bronze ones. You kind of see it over here, right? All these gold ones, some of these are epics, right? Let me find an epic for you guys. Okay, so he is technically considered an epic. The only way you would really know that is because down here, to pull him, it's 200 versus the legendaries are 800. And also he's got that purple. But I thought that color right there was what was telling you what they were, right? That's not necessarily the case. So all of these cards down here, guys, on the outside of them, they're technically gray, at least unless I'm colorblind, which I don't think I am. They're gray, but that's what the game considers bronze. All right, so we'll right click this. See how it's got the deeper blue? The outside is considered, I guess, bronze. That's just what the game calls it. Don't ask me. Do not ask me what's going on. That's just the facts of the nature. And then you'll see how, let me see if I can find some of these guys. You'll see the crafting value. So the crafting value of this is 30, and this one's kind of a lighter shade of blue. And see how the crafting one for this is 80, and this is kind of a deeper blue. So that's what I thought I was looking for that, right? That's not the case. It's these outside perimeter. Those are your bronze cards. So when tier says that you're going to boost your bronze cards, you're looking for that exterior of the card is gray. Don't ask me why it says bronze, guys. Don't ask me. That's just what the game does, okay? So I'm not making the rules. I'm just telling you how it works. So anyways, let's move forward. There's a lot of frustrations in this game that this game kind of needs to work out. Anyways, so guys, let's jump on to this next one. This is Fusica. I love Fusica, okay, right? So basically what Fusica is going to do is she's going to pull a non-neutral item, okay? So it's got to be somebody that has hit points over here. It can't be any of these stars, right? These stars there, and it looks like a flame. You can't, that's not a unit. That's not a unit, okay? It has to be a non-neutral, so you can't be pulling neutral units, right? It has to be a non-neutral unit. This whole deck is non-neutral, so don't even worry about that. If you're following this exact deck, and so anyways, guys, they need to be units. They need to have some type of hit points over there on the top left of the card. Those are the guys you can pull from your graveyard, all right? And then you're going to be able to pull anybody that's less than 10 provisions. Your provisions are right here. So obviously you couldn't pull them self. And then what happens is obviously this card right here says it'll get doomed. So you can't use Fusica the next turn. It's going to go into the graveyard and it's going to be gone after that. Okay. So then what happens is you're going to spawn a rain on the opposite end. So what that means is if you're playing her in the melee spot, the opposite end of the melee is your enemy's melee. So if you want to damage your enemy's melee, you need to put it in your melee. If you want to damage your enemy's ranged, you need to put it in your ranged. That's considered the opposite, okay? Ranged and ranged, melee and melee. That's the opposite, okay? So it's a word that you kind of just got to know what it means. it doesn't really make sense. I wish it would say the same spot as you play them on your enemy's row. Like, there's a lot of things in this game that are not very clear. They're as clear as mud. But I just want to let you guys know that. So anyways, you guys pull this player, that you guys pull Fusika out, you put her down, you pull anybody with less than 10 provisions. The amount of rain that's going to fall is basically whatever the number is. So let's just say you're pulling a warrior that's 4 provisions. So you do the 10 minus the 4, you're going to get 6 turns that rain's going to hit. Okay, so it all depends on how many provisions they are less than 10. That's how many times the rain is going to spawn. All right, guys. So let's move down to Blood Eagle. Blood Eagle is a very, very nice one. It is an echo, so you're going to get that the next turn. You're going to get it the next mulligan. Mind you, it gets doomed on the second time you pull it, so you can't pull it 3 times. Keep in mind. So what this guy is going to do is he does a little bit of damage. So he's going to damage an enemy unit by 2. And if you're playing those Highland Warlords, these are the cards that you're going to boost. This is a raid card. So if you play your Highland Warlords and you play them twice, you get them in your graveyard, pull them out from your graveyard, because this hand is good at pulling things out of your graveyard. You will boost this number every time that you throw a warlord out, a Highland warlord out. So this can end up getting to be 4 or 5. Okay. So then once you do that damage, you're going to play a warrior from your deck with a provision of 7 or less. So this is how I like to pull. If I don't have any Highland Warlords that I want, or maybe I only got 1 played, I'm going to drop him down to get one of those guys out so I can play them, right? So this is a death blow. It plays a warrior from your deck instead. So, and you are going to want to kill them. You're going to want to kill them with this hand, right? But then also, if you have this Bloodlust, so this is a condition where you have 3 enemies that are damaged on the opposite side. So remember when I was talking about the sirens, how they're damaged units? You need 3 damaged units for you to pull a warrior out. Okay? So if you have 3 over there, you don't have to worry about killing them. It doesn't need to be a death blow. It's already going to trigger that. So the damaged players on the other end is good for this deck. You really need them. All right, so then we're going to drop on down to this boy right here. He's got resilience, so he's considered a carryover. So this is going to be your location that you like to drop. So you're going to spawn, you're going to drop him. You're going to basically spawn an in-crate unit. So there's a couple of in-crate units that you're going to be able to play. You're going to be able to play those, and whatever they do, they do. And then from there on out, this is basically Clash. Okay, so Clash is kind of like Duel. Excuse me, guys. Here's your on-crates that you're going to be able to spawn. All of these boys down here, you're going to be able to spawn. Okay, all of them are going to be a little bit different. It's going to give you 3 options. You're just going to pick your best option and go with it. All right, so he gets 1 order. So this guy basically gives somebody with armor, gives 6 armor to your player, and then clashes with them. And the thing with clashes is it's instantaneously damages each other. So you're going to want more HP on your guy. Granted, you're going to have that 6 armor, so that's going to help you in the long run. But it does that damage instantaneously. So then we're going to do is we're going to go down to King Braun. And I, for whatever reason, end up throwing King Braun into my inventory all the time when I use tier. Typically, King Braun is like one of my last guys I got left. It is worth doing the tier and getting rid of King Braun and bringing Invader out, because Invader will be 16 points, and this guy will only be 5, or he has a veteran ability, so he'll be going up. He'll end up playing for 7. If you guys look at the veteran thing over here, after the 2nd and 3rd round, he goes up 1 every round. So he'll end up being 7 on your end run. So, and basically what this guy does is every time you damage somebody, you over damage them. So I was using like 5 damage on people with 1 hit points, and I thought I was going to get this guy boosted by 4. Nope. I thought it was 1 per 1 damage of excess. It's not really that. Okay, it kind of sounds like that. Increases the value by 1 whenever excess damage dealt is done to an enemy. So it's only 1 damage. So if you damage that person 20 over what they're actually capable of, you're only going to get boost self by 1 additional, okay? So, and then at the end of this, you'll see that at the start of the game, trigger the veteran ability on this unit. So, correction. I actually think if I actually at the start of the game, so I actually think he gets to 8. I might have said that wrong. Let me know in the comments below, guys. I value your guys' input as well. I think he actually gets to 8. So I think he gets the veteran. I to be honest with you, I was sick the last 2 days, so I'm sorry about that. But I think I recall, I'm like, I don't think he's ever at 7. I think he's at 8. Anyways, guys, let me know in the comments below. Is he 7 or 8? Pretty sure he's 8 on the 3rd round. All right, guys, let's dive into this next guy. So Von Zorn, I love this man as well. So this man, basically, you're gonna have to deploy him. You're gonna have to deploy him melee, and then he basically just spawns a raid card from your deck. So he's super nice, gives you 2 points on the board, and then any raid card in your deck you pull out. So the warrior deck is going to be a deck you want to know who's in your you're going to want to know who's in your graveyard, and you're going to want to know who's in your deck constantly. You always want to be monitoring what's going on. So sometimes when you're playing warriors, you run out of time a lot. You know, things are rushed at the end, so just be mindful of that. Champion charge, definitely a nice one. So, like we said, when we're playing those warlords, this damage, since he's a raid card, this damage is going to be going up. So this will be damage an enemy unit by 5. But every time you play the warlords, this is going to be going up. And this is another bloodthirst thing you got to keep in mind, guys. For if you have basically 3 people on the enemy side that are damaged, that means their number is red. This kills that enemy. So super nice. I typically will, unless I'm in a pinch, I typically don't like to use them for this one. Typically, I like using them for that damage an enemy unit. If they got a really tall unit, sometimes I'll use my leader ability, drop them sirens out, and I'll just absolutely wipe somebody off the board. So that's sometimes a thing as well. Very, very good card. Love this guy. War of Clans. Basically, he's another raid card as well, so this damage by 2 will be going up. This is a one that if you use this deck, guys, you don't have to worry about the death blow ability. You'll automatically get it. We'll get into that. But anyways, this plays a 4 provision warrior from your graveyard, and then it's doomed. So it means once you use that 4, he'll go on the board, he'll do what he does, and that's it. He's doomed. He'll never be back again. The devotion. Remember this. So devotion, ability conditions requiring your starting deck to not include neutral cards. We do not have neutral cards if you follow along with this deck. So you will always get a 4 provision warrior from your graveyard. Don't put a neutral in this deck, man. This guy's kind of, he's not gonna be his full potential. Anyways, I got 2 of them bad boys. Blessing right here. You basically play a bronze. This gray border, those are your bronze. Remember that, guys. Gray is bronze. I don't know. Don't ask me. I just know that that's what it plays for. A bronze non-neutral. We don't have any non-neutrals in this deck. So a bronze unit from your graveyard to give it doom. Anybody. Okay? So if it's bronze and it's a unit, you can pull them from your graveyard and play them. All right? Stunning blow. Stunning blow is awesome as well. Damages an enemy unit by 5 if it has damage. If it has armor, excuse me. Damages by 7. This is another raid card. This will get larger. So this is typically you can get up to 9. This is super nice. This guy can hit pretty strong, and he's just a common. You know, he's a bronze as well, so just be mindful of that. But raid card, like I said, he'll be getting boosted. These are our bread makers, the Highland Warlord. You want to play this guy in the first round. You want to play these guys as fast as you can. This guy increases the damage of your raid card by 1 for the rest of the game. This is the dude that you want to play right away. Get these dudes on the board fast. It just makes all your raid cards more damage. I typically like to lose the first round. That's typically how I like to do because I like throwing these cards down and not really caring about the first round because I can win these warrior deck. I can win with 3 cards in the 3rd round. Like People think they bleed me the second round. I'm like, nah, bro, I'm good. I got 3 cards in the next round. I got my tier. I got this guy and that guy. I'm going to freaking drop you. Every card you put out there, I'm going to drop. Anyways, long story short, the warrior deck does not need a lot of cards because I'm going to be taking your cards and spawning guys from the graveyard once I kill you. So, but this is your breadwinner. This is your breadwinner, guys. Gutting Slash, basically he's another raid card as well. He's going to damage a unit by 4. Bloodthirst, like we said, if you got 2 damage units, he'll increase that damage by 2 from his base. All right, very, very nice cards. As you guys can see, we do a lot of damage in this. Primal Savagery, same thing, a raid card. So this unit will be going up right here, damage enemy unit by 2, and then you spawn a Bear Abomination on an allied row. So basically, whatever damage you're doing, you'll do that damage, and if you kill them, the death blow ability, you have to kill them, then you'll get a +6. So you'll do that damage, and then you get 6. So typically, it's like a 10-point swing right there. All right, guys, I think I forgot. I'm going to add this right here. We forgot Sov. Sov is a card that you want to know, and you want to be mindful of where your beasts are, okay? So basically, you're going to play Sov on a melee round. It's going to summon a beast on that opposite row. So it's going to be melee, right? Because that's what allows you to do this, all right? And then you infuse it with a Death Wish. Basically, what that means is, and then you get an immunity after that as well. So basically, what that means is if you summon the bear is 4 HP. If you actually have 4 damage units on that board, you will entirely kill that bear, and then that bear is 4, so you'll end up doubling that back on him, so he'll get 8. If you do Little Favu is down here. She's a 6. She's a 6. So if you use Solve, you'll need 6 damage units on their end, because it says right here, if you by each damaged unit, it damages that beast by 1. So you'll need 6 damage units to take Little Favu out. And then that'll boost you by 12. So that'll double that boost back. And then they'll gain immunity. So Solve is a card that you want to play when you have damage units. So I typically like to link up the leader ability because it spawns them sirens. And them sirens, once you finish that full thing, it's going to have 4 damage units. So typically, you're going to want to leave your beasts in your deck. You don't want them at all. You never want them. This is a compliment to Solve, okay? Leave the beasts in the deck. Do not have them in your hand. It's a waste. I've actually had Solve, had no beasts in the deck, and I had a beast in my hand, and this was early on, and I'm like, you're kidding me, bro. Like, it's just an 11 card. Super nice, but you can get this card up to 20. It's super, super nice. You can get them up to 23 if you put Favu in there, gets that bonus of 12. So, and then immunity, so nobody can target them. So Solve with your leader ability, you can swing like 20, 25 points right there. And you can sometimes take that game right then and there in one round. You can just boost by 25. And the other team's like, GG. You know, so big swing. Anyways, guys, we'll go back on down to Little Favu. Little Favu, I do not like using at all. But in case you guys have to use him, basically deploys him. He's not going to be bonded. Bonded basically means you need a copy of him. So this increases his damage, his base power by 2. Never happens because we don't have him in this deck. And then what you're going to use if you want to use them and your deck is looking rough, you're basically going to damage them by 4. And then you're going to spawn a rain on the enemy row. You're actually going to be able to pick what row it is. It's only going to be for 2 turns. But he's typically, I just like to use him. Hopefully if I have 6 damage units, I'll use Sov and I'll get that 12 bonus. So these are the invaders, guys, that I like to use. I like to use this specifically for when I'm using tier. So you can get these guys at the end of each round because they have veteran. This will get to 8 on that last round. So you can boost this one up to 16 if you're using tier with her. So I like to let her be in the graveyard. I'll pull her that 3rd round off tier. Tier will boost her to 16, and then I'll get rid of somebody. So she'll be boosted up to 16, and she's got fail. So you can't get any statuses. You also can't get any positive statuses either. So I've done that before. Ask me how I know. And then this is the Savage Bear. So Savage Bear, I typically like to keep in my deck specifically for Sov. But in case things don't go right and you got him in your hand, it happens. Let's just talk about him. He basically gains a charge for each Savage Bear in your graveyard. So you're probably not going to have him. So that's only on your deploy that he'll get to 2. But anyways, what you're going to get, guys, is you're going to get a Zeal. So he's going to be able to go instantaneously. And then you're going to use your order. It's basically going to damage somebody by 2. Not really that big. He's mainly just there for Sov. You're going to get your On-Crate Warrior. On-Crate Warrior, he's okay. He's okay. He's a 4 provision card. Typically, we like to use him when we're drawing him from the War of Clans. So basically, because if he comes from his graveyard, he's going to do 3 additional. He's going to do 3 damage right away. But anyways, if you deploy him regular, he's just going to give a bleed of 3. And then if, like I said, if you use him with the War of Clans, he's going to come from your graveyard. So whenever he's coming from your graveyard, he's just going to apply 3 damage. So it's just going to be a one-time hit. And then Axeman. Axeman's another one of them 4 that you can pull from War of Clans as well. So he's going to be melee. He's going to damage an enemy unit. I like to dish him off. I don't really like having him. There's a possibility of maybe getting this boy out. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But Axeman's kind of a weak card sometimes. He could be good if he's used in the right situation. But he basically damages a unit by what it's already damaged by. So let's just say that the target is 8 and they're at 4. So the difference of is it's 8 minus 4, so it's 4. So you're gonna basically kill that unit because whatever their damage is from their normal base HP, you're gonna take that away. Last but not least is our Brakvar Warrior. So he is gonna damage an enemy unit by 3. If this unit is damaged, so what that means is, like I was saying in the beginning, guys, damage means you need to turn them red. Okay, so this can potentially have 6 points damaged on the board, but you got to play them right. You gotta look at the cards and see what they are. So if they're white, like regular like this, you're gonna once you hit them once, it's gonna bring them into the damage stage. But you don't want to kill them because if you kill them, you won't repeat this ability. This will repeat the deployability with a target and decrease it by 1. So if you hit somebody that's like 4 and you bring them down to 1, then you get to repeat that ability, but instead of it being 3, it's going to be 2. And every time you have to damage that unit, you can't kill them. If you fully kill them, you won't get another deploy. It won't repeat the ability. So you'll have to use the 3, bring the guy down to a damage spot, and then you'll be able to do 2 damage. Bring that target down by whatever it is that just gets him damage, not kill him, and then you'll be able to do 1. So potentially this guy can do 6 damage. You just got to play it right. So anyways, guys, that is the Warrior deck. If I missed something, let me know. If you like this video, let me know in the comments below. Definitely appreciate Definitely appreciate if you want to share this, copy this. I will have a link below to this actual deck in the playgwent.com. And just like I said in the very beginning of this video, guys, I don't claim to be a guy that knows everything. I'm just telling you what I'm using. I'm telling you what the cards do, what they read, and what actually comes into reality. And I've just learned that by failure. Okay, I'm not pretending to be some genius. I'm just bringing you guys along with the ride with me. So if you guys want to enjoy this ride, take a look at my next video. We'll be dropping it. I don't know when, but we'll be dropping it soon, hopefully. So if not, guys, check me out on Twitch. Check me out on YouTube. I stream pretty often. So we will see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys for the love and support. Take it easy now.